An image of iBooks.
To buy a property, right? To buy.
Right? I mean, you always want passive income. I remember when I was 25 years old, I didn't even know what the term passive income meant. Now I'm 32 years old and I've got more passive income than I know what to do with. So guys, look, here's your main man, Grant Cardone. Again, if you want to check out more of these videos, go to grantcardonetv.com.
Every Monday, baby.
grantcardonetv.com. It's perfect audio.
Beautiful. Let me have the
perfect
chair,
video.
Okay. So we're talking about top of the market today. Every Monday. Thank you, Captain Ryan. Captain Ryan is going to be filtering your questions. So if you have a question, if you want to call in, 305-865-8668, 305-865-8668, 305-865-8668. We'll always look at your questions. We'll also look at your deals if you want us to look at one of your deals. Now, one of the big questions that we got from last week's show, and you can find all the last shows that Brian mentioned at grantcardonetv.com. One of the questions that we got throughout the week was this: are we at the top of the market? Do you have an image? Does somebody have an image over there of the cranes in the air? Did y'all get that?
No, we didn't.
No, we didn't? So look, man, if you see cranes in your city, you are at the top of the market. Listen to what I'm telling you, okay? Know your market. If you see cranes in the air, if the cab drivers, the Uber drivers, if the lady at the local coffee shop is talking about investing in real estate, you are at the top of your market. When Silicon Valley starts talking about rent control, which they're doing now, you are at the top of the market. Stay out of those markets. Boston, Chicago. I'm not hot?
Yeah, you're hot.
Boston, Chicago, New York City, Los Angeles. I'd probably have a Los Angeles as a set aside. These are expensive, extremely expensive markets where cap rates have contracted. You know what a cap rate is, right? Mm-hmm. You need to know your terms. Cap rate is if you paid cash for that gig, if you paid $1 million, if you paid $1 million for something and they tell you the cap rate is 4%, that means it would pay you $40,000 a year on $1 million. I'm not saying that's a bad deal, but if you're just getting started, you probably can't afford to go there because you need cash flow. When we come back from break, I'm going to be showing you what top of the market is and how to avoid it.
3, 2, 1.
Did you take me out just right?
Start.
Hey, welcome to Real Estate Investing Made Simple. My name's Grant Cardone. Every Monday we bring you a show, me and Captain Ryan, right here. Captain Ryan, come over here, Captain Ryan, so they can see you, man. He's going to be sitting over here, taking your calls, answering your questions, filtering the information. I'm going to be using this whiteboard to give you the data you need. Today's show is coming to you because you asked, Grant, Captain Ryan, what's the deal in my market? Am I at the top of the market? Is it too expensive to now buy real estate? Okay? Has the market got so overheated, so inflated that it's too expensive? Now, I'm going to give you a couple of sources to read from. Wall Street Journal's got great content on real estate investing. Okay? Most of it is scary stuff. Okay, I don't know. You didn't get the image of the cranes.
The cranes, no.
If you see cranes in the air, listen to me. Cranes in the air, beware. Now that being said, look, we haven't had a housing or real estate collapse since 2009. So what are we? 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, going on 17, going on 8 years. We've had nothing but prices going up.
Yep.
All right. So the question today is this: how do you determine if you're at the top of the market? This was the number one question we were given last week. Call in 305-865-8668, 305-865-8668, and I'll tell you your market, whether it's overpriced or not, okay? Boston. Gentleman wrote me last week, Grant, I want to invest in Boston, but if I buy $1 million deal in Boston, this is what he told me, $1 million deal in Boston, okay, it's a 3% cap rate. That means he would make 30 grand if he paid cash. It means he'd make about $55,000 a year if he financed that deal though. Now, I'm just going to tell you, in some spots in Boston, the question not is what is the cap rate. The real question here is, can you withstand the pullback? Because there will be a pullback. At some point, something will happen. Who knows what it's going to be? Maybe it's another Boston Marathon. I don't think that would pull the market back. But something like that could pull the market back, okay? It could be an internet strike. Maybe you can't actually get your money online anymore the way most of our properties we rent online. We collect money online. I don't know what it could be. It could be anything that could pull the market back. It could scare the market. It could be treasuries, 10-year treasuries go up so much.
Yep.
Okay, if 10-year treasuries go up. The point is this, it could be a lot of things that we haven't even discussed. So what? Bad stuff happens. If you're prepared to handle 10 years, if you can weather 10 years, okay, 10 years, every 10 years, apartments double in value. Okay, this is what's happened in Florida for the last, 50 years. Every 10 years, if I can weather a storm, property doubles in value, okay? So the first thing you got to do is, and Ryan, you just add whenever you want to add something here.
Well, no, we know it's going to happen, right?
Dude, it's going to happen.
I mean, we know it's going to happen, right? In real estate, the term is, they call it, are we long in the tooth, right? They compare it to a tooth.
Yeah.
And everybody's saying, hey, we're long in the tooth. They feel the pressure.
But let me just say, they've been saying we're long in the tooth for 3 years.
Absolutely.
So I bought stuff 3 years ago that I made so much money on. I'm like, damn, I should have bought everything because we were long in the tooth.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, these guys that are long in the tooth ain't buying stuff.
Yep.
They're watching.
Yep.
Right? So I'm just telling you.
And what are they collecting on their money? They're half a point, a quarter of a point?
We bought 2 deals in the last 30 days. I'm closing on 1 in 2 weeks. Oh, how are we doing on that deal, by the way?
We're doing good. We're doing real good.
Are they all right? Eric's all right? Are they going to give us the extension?
We'll talk after.
We're mid a deal. So I just bought a deal. I know they sold that deal to me for $105,000 a door. I think they made
7.
Huh? How many units? 188 units.
There's 2. On
no, the 188 units they made on that deal. They made $4 million. Yeah, maybe a little more than that. I don't care, dude. They sold to get their money. This is another question y'all ask me. Why would he sell if it's a good deal? Because he had investors he had to deliver to. I come in, I buy the deal. He makes $4 or $5 million. I don't care if he made $4 or $5 million. Yeah. I'm thinking this right here, okay? And I'm also thinking cap rate, all right? Now, and I've always done this, I don't know if it's good or bad, right or wrong, but I've never lost any money in real estate. I avoid markets where there's cranes. If you can put a crane and start building in my backyard, I leave those markets alone. I want to come back and buy them once they've overbuilt them because that's what builders do.
Yeah.
Builders overbuild and investors invest, okay? They take advantage of moments.
Buy at a discount.
So we buy in markets, a couple things. Let me give you a few points before we go to break here. Know your market. Know the cost to build. You have to know the cost to build, okay? New York City, Boston, Chicago, San Francisco. The cost to build in these markets is so unbelievable. San Diego, California. The cost of a piece of paper to get 1 unit approved is about $55,000 a door. That's for the piece of paper, okay? This is called the hidden tax on middle class. You understand? No wood, no concrete, no glass, no structure, no electricity. A piece of paper that says, okay, that 1 unit is approved to build. San Francisco is probably $100,000 a door for the piece of paper to the government that says you can build that unit. Okay? All that money goes to the federal government or state government or local governments to waste that money. That's a hidden tax on middle class people because your rents explode. Rents explode with cost, okay? Yeah. So we avoid markets where the cost to build, okay, where I'm paying more than I want to basically buy something that's below the cost to build. Also, you want to look at history. Can I go back to 2009, 2010, 2011? How much of my rent's going to pull back? Number 4, the plan for a pullback. We have stress tests.
Yep.
We look at what's my occupancy At which point can I still cover my debt? Okay. And number 5, dude, come on, number 5, rents, rates, supply. Rents, rates, and supply. It's easy. This is a simple business, and we make it simpler.
Too many people are being kept from their dreams by circumstances they couldn't control and mistakes from a long time ago. All they needed was a second chance or a fresh start. That's why Cash Now was created. Since 1997, Ray Abood, owner of Cash Now, has been the premier expert in home renovation and resale in the York tri-state area. Dedicated to premier customer service, getting the best deals at the lowest price, this is the only expert company you should deal with when it comes to buying and selling a home. Offering a 5-step home buying process, Ray and his team will ensure your needs are covered and get you closer to your dreams of buying a home in any city across the United States. To find out more on how you can get started on owning or selling a home, visit cashnowpa.com. That's cashnowpa.com to get started. TrueStim is hiring. We are seeking motivated sales reps in the United States and Canada to work in the growing, lucrative market of drug-free solutions for effective pain relief and muscle performance training. Do it while having fun and, most importantly, improving the quality of life for your customers. TrueStim offers aggressive pay plans, company incentive trips, and a fast opportunity for growth and advancement within the company. TrueStim trains its people on the #1 sales training platform in the world, Cardone University. The best knowledge for sales combined together with the best marketing systems, culture, and support in the industry. Visit truestim.com/careers. That's truestim.com/careers and get started right now. There is only one thing that ensures the future of your business: communication. Information, business deals, new prospects, client management only functions with a strong communication platform. And that's our goal at Mango Voice, to deliver quality customer interaction with the best business phone system on the planet. Connect your office with Mango Voice and enjoy mobility of taking calls from your cell phone, multiple office setup, no maintenance fees, secure cloud-based service. Mango Voice ensures your business future with perfect communication. Sign up right now for a free consultation at mangovoice.com/sign up. That's mangovoice.com/sign up.
We're rolling.
Hey, if you like the show today, make sure you subscribe, hit like, and post your comments. Really appreciate you watching. Thanks a lot. Hey, welcome back to Real Estate Investing Made Simple. My name's Grant Cardone. This is Captain Ryan. Captain flies the plane. He shows me the deals. He brings me the deal. We got a real estate, Grant Cardone, or Cardone Acquisitions Real Estate. We have 4,000 apartments here. I wrote an article this weekend about, I remember the time when I couldn't afford $275 a month in rent. Now I own 4,000 apartments that rent for over $1,000 a month. And I'm telling you, this real estate game, if you know how to avoid the trouble, if you keep it simple. Now the big guys invest where it's expensive.
Yeah. Now knowing your market, Grant, because the first thing we talk about is know your market.
Let me just recap. Somebody's coming in right now.
Yeah.
We're talking about top of the market right now. Know your market. Number 2, cost to build. What's the cost to build in your market? Number 3, what's the history there? If I go back to the worst times, what happens? Number 4, plan for a pullback. Look for stress tests. At what number can I get to? Okay, because when there's pullbacks, what happens is when there's pullbacks, your occupancy is going to drop.
Yep.
Can I go down to 88? Can I go down to 86? Can I go down to 80? What's my break-even rate? Because I don't want to lose this, because I got time on my side or I got time against me. Is time on my side or against me? How long can you wait if you got a job making you a bunch of money right now and this thing starts bleeding you out? Okay, because it'll happen. And the last thing is, what's the market going forward? That considers rent, rates, interest rates, and supply. Go ahead, Ryan.
Well, no, and I think it comes back to demand, right? I think everything, knowing your market, comes back to demand. Now, obviously, from your first multifamily deal, which was 40 units, now you have 4,000, right?
Yeah.
I mean, knowing, you know a lot more now, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
sure.
what did you know about the market when you bought your first 40 units?
I knew less, but I did know this. San Diego is where I bought my first deals, and I'm looking around saying, there's no way this gets cheaper. Like, that's the first thing you got to decide. Now, I happened to be in a situation back then where, and you're bringing up a good point, okay? This is called rent, rates, and supply. The only thing I knew there was the third one. It was just obvious to me, dude, there's no supply, okay? I also knew the rent, okay? When in that city, when it was $55,000, literally for a piece of paper, this is what the paper looks like for the approval, the permit to build one unit. I think it was $55,000. I'm like, wait a minute, I'm buying units for 60 or 70 or 80 or 100. I bought all the way up. I'm buying a unit for 100. The piece of paper to get that unit approved is 55 grand.
Yeah.
There's no way this is not a deal. Before anybody poured concrete, put a piece of wood in the ground, before there was a stick, a frame out, before there was a roof, okay? Before there was any landscaping laid or irrigation, before you collected one rent, somebody had spent 55 grand for the same deal I was paying 80,000 for. I'm like, this is a no-brainer, dude.
Yeah.
Okay, so I knew two things. I knew the rents had to go up and the supply wasn't there. In San Diego, you're crushed by a set of mountains and the ocean. Okay, and that's all. That's what you're looking for. And every market has this. In Boston, you have water and a city, and everything wants to get to that city, right? And then it starts breaking down from there. New York City, the same thing. The problem in those markets is you got a supply issue coming. You got more supply coming, okay? The supply's coming. Like in Miami, you're gonna see a bunch of cranes in the air in Miami, but what are they for? They're not for apartments. They're for high-end luxury condos, $2 to $5 million, $8 million, $20 million condos. There's a glut in condos here, not to be confused, by the way, with no apartments in Miami. So people are like, man, why are you buying? It's the top of the market. That's what we're talking about today, top of the market. Where are your rents? We rent, our average rent's about $900 a month. This is important to know. What's your market? How much can it afford, okay? So we just did those two deals. That deal we're doing right now, we're closing out on St. Lucie.
Yep.
We're doing another deal right here in Miami. I'm about to put under contract. It's going to be a good deal too, man. It's going to be a good deal. It's right behind a Whole Foods.
It's going to be a big deal.
It's going to be big. It's going to be a big deal. How big is that deal?
400 units.
How many units? 400 units.
402. Yep.
402, and it's going to cost $60 million.
Yep.
I need $15 million to put down. I know this because I know the market. I know the rent. I know my interest rates. Rates are so low right now, 4%. What are they doing today, by the way?
Okay. And one quick thing, just to go back on what you're saying, know your market and the cost to build.
Yeah.
I learned how to find out the cost to build when I went to go get insurance on the property, right? So having an insurance company quote you how much they're going to insure the property for, right? Because when I was buying my first house, I had no idea what you were even talking about.
And they'll want to overinsure. They always want to overinsure, okay? Don't let them overinsure you.
Yeah. And typically what they do is 80% is for the structure
Yeah.
and 20% is for the land, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So when I was buying this house for $110,000 and they wanted to insure it for $190,000.
Yeah.
Because to build it with the foundation, so if the thing burnt down, right, you still have the permit, you still have the foundation.
But part of that was they were trying to rip him off too, just so you understand.
Sure.
And then part of it, they were telling him the story. They're telling him, hey, it's
Sure.
worth more than $110,000. That's the part of the story he's going to tell you.
Yeah, yeah.
On the other hand, to keep your costs down, just so you know, whether it's applying to a single family residence or, I had this deal in Charlotte. There was 360 units, 330 units. What was it? 360? 360.
Yep.
And they wanted to insure it for this unbelievable number, right? There was
Sure.
16 acres of land. I'm like, guys, what do you think? They wanted to insure it for like, I don't know, $25 million.
Interesting.
I said, they ain't gonna all burn down at the same time.
Yeah.
Okay, I need like $4 or $5 million worth of insurance. Well, we can't do that. Well, you can't do that because you don't want to do that. But you could do that if you wanted to do it. What's the chances, dude? I got 17 or 18 acres or whatever the number was. It was ridiculous. Okay, what's the chances that there's going to be a brush fire come through there and burn 18 acres in every unit I have?
Right.
Has it ever happened in the history of the world since the Civil War? No, it hadn't. Good. Well, then it ain't going to happen to me, dude, okay? So let's insure it for less money than that. I'm willing to take that risk. Now, I'm a little off topic right now.
Yeah.
But Charlotte's a good place where I sold because I think I'm at top of market there. Okay, I just sold a deal. And when do you sell, man? You sell at the top of the market. When do you buy? Any other time. Any other time. You buy at the bottom, you buy below the bottom. There's never a bottom, dude. It's below the bottom, just above the bottom. There's never a bottom. You're not going to find a bottom. You're going to be below the bottom. I bought below bottom many times.
Yep.
Not enough times.
Yep.
And then you can keep buying all the way up to the top of the market and then move to markets that are being influenced by the New York Cities, the Bostons. If you don't have, like if a guy's in Boston and he can't buy there, okay, because your money's not going to go anyplace in Boston. Look for somebody that's buying deals in markets where there's not cranes in the air.
Right.
Okay?
Oversupply.
Where there's not oversupply.
But with still high demands with job growth and people coming in. Like that's why we think Florida's such a great market, right? Because you have people coming down to this market
And
Because
they're
people
going
are
to keep
retiring.
coming here,
They're gonna
man.
keep
They're
coming
going to
here.
keep coming here. Here's the
Yeah.
draw in Florida. The people are going to come to Florida just because other spaces are so expensive.
Right.
They don't even have to come here for jobs. They're going to come here and retire. Remember this. We got
cost of living is-
75 million baby boomers in this country. Those are people that are getting old.
Yep.
They're getting old, and you know what they're doing? They're like, I don't want that coal. Let's get some coal going this winter. My name's Grant Cardone. This is Captain Ryan. You're watching Real Estate Investing Made Simple. I'm covering a lot today. When I come back, I'm going to take your calls on top of market. Stay with us.
Leave a mark in your neighborhood with a lasting impression. A professional landscape can deliver that and more. And the man to bring it to you is Steve Griggs. Awarded the National Best of Hows in Client Satisfaction in 2016 with clients such as Dr. Oz and the Palisades Center Mall in West Nyack. Steve Griggs is New York's best landscape designer. This isn't landscape design, this is lifestyle design. For more information, visit stevegriggsdesign.com. That's stevegriggsdesign.com. Gaining financial independence is what every person seeks in today's world. With so many options when it comes to investing, it can be confusing to know what to do. Specialized IRA Services helps you know the right direction to go. Whether you are looking for a self-directed IRA, a retirement account, or need the know-how on funding a new business, Specialized IRA Services helps you gain control of your assets, your money, and your investments while being educated on the entire process. In removing Wall Street out of your investment, you can be sure to spend less on investment fees, taxes, and make more on your returns. Let the expert team at Specialized IRA Services help you transform your family legacy and secure your financial independence. Visit specializediraservices.com. That's specializediraservices.com to register for more info and receive a free ebook on your guide to financial freedom. That's specializediraservices.com. Style, fun, experience, and the best food on the planet. Brick City Grill, family owned and located in Somerset portion of Ames, Iowa. Voted best food in Iowa in 2016. Everything fresh, everything American. Rated the best sports grill in Iowa. This family-oriented environment was built to enjoy the best of life with your friends, your family, and your coworkers. With the highest quality food, watch the game, meet new people, and create your experience at Brick City Grill. For more information, visit brickcitygrill.com. That's brickcitygrill.com.
All right, we're rolling.
Hey, if you like the show today, make sure you subscribe, hit like, and post your comments. Really appreciate you watching. Thanks a lot. Hey, welcome back. Grant Cardone here, Captain Ryan, Real Estate Investing Made Simple. We're talking about rent, rate, supply today. We're talking about how to determine if you're top of the market. And by the way, if you're at the top of the market, what do?
You sell.
You sell, dude.
Yep.
You sell. And you find markets that you can go buy in. Now, here's the problem, and then we're going to take some calls. Let's say Captain Ryan is back flying planes for Continental Airlines or Delta or whoever, whatever. And he's in Arizona. He knows Arizona. He's got a couple hundred grand he can invest. And let's say that market that he's in, whatever it is, gets overheated. And he knows, man, the deals aren't here anymore. Well, how would I know that? He's starting to see cap rates go down, right? That could be good for a while. By the way, do you have those cap rate stories? Does he have them? Did Robert get them?
No, I didn't give them to Robert, no.
You didn't get them to Robert in time, man. Come on, man. No. Come on, man. See, like right now, Los Angeles is...
Look at the home prices, though, for some of these top places.
Los Angeles, New York, Seattle, Atlanta, Phoenix. Phoenix is below a 6 cap. Okay, now what does that mean again? Robert knows what it means, right? Mm-hmm. If I pay $1 million in cash for something, I'm going to get paid just under 6% on my money. That's 12 times what you would earn at the bank. Mm-hmm. It's awesome, man. It's awesome. And you're going to pay your debt down over time. That's awesome, actually. However, okay, if you look at historical on the cap rates in that market, it could drop. It could keep going down, which means the value of the property went up, or it could go up. Cap rates could go up, which means the property value has to go down. This is a mathematical thing that people tend to not to understand, okay? So let me just show it to you, okay? Now, it's really about why is it doing this though, okay? Rents, rates, and supply. Remember this, rents, rates, and supply, okay? I can borrow money today. Let's say I can borrow money today at 4%. Some of that money is interest only for 5 and 10 years, okay? I know a guy just got a loan, 10 years, 4% interest only. That makes the price of what I can pay for a property go up. As this rate goes down, price can go up if I'm using leverage. You follow me? Now, if I'm paying cash for something, $1 million, if If I'm going to pay cash for something and it pays 4%, a 4% cap rate, this is different than the interest rate. This is an interest rate. This is a cap rate. Again, if you're confused, man, you don't need to be investing in real estate yet. Okay, you need to keep watching shows. We do a show every Monday. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you're not ready to invest your own money.
Yeah.
If you're not willing to do the homework to learn this, don't ever invest your own money in real estate where you're going to manage it, man.
Yeah.
You're much better riding on a guy or a company. Find somebody that does this for a living. It's still a great deal for you, okay?
Yeah.
Because let me just finish this one thing, okay? This is a 4 cap. If you pay cash, it'd pay you $40,000, okay? If you borrowed money on this, it would be $40,000. If you borrowed the $1 million, it would be $40,000. If you could borrow the whole amount, the whole $1 million, earn $40,000, pay $40,000 in interest, there could be an argument to be had that it would still be a good deal. Mm-hmm. Because you would be borrowing all the money and buying a piece of real estate that over time will go up in value, over time, unless cranes come. And they make the new stuff more attractive than your stuff, and it's going to pull back the property. Now, I wouldn't do that deal because you're so tight that if you can't handle time, you know, you're going to start bleeding out on this deal. Go ahead.
Yeah. Well, no, I think time's the most important function of values, right? But, you know, a lot of people don't understand IO. You know, this was a term that I understand, right? Interest only. When I go and buy a house, I PITI, right? It's principal, interest, taxes, and insurance, right?
Yeah, because they don't trust you.
Well, they don't trust you.
See, do you understand what he's saying right now? When you buy a house, you buy $1 million house, you buy a $100,000 house.
Yeah.
They charge you principal,
interest,
taxes,
insurance.
And insurance. They don't trust you, man. They get the money out of your payments. It's called escrow. They escrow your payments, right? So that's how they figure out your payment, because they don't actually trust you to make those 4 things.
Right.
Why? Because they worried, man. They worried things are going to change. They know they do. By the way, housing stock in this country, we have never returned. Never. In 7 years, we have never returned to the levels that we used to be at for building housing stock. Let me just give you this number right now, okay? Wall Street Journal says apartments need a cooling off period. They've been saying this for 4 years. Yeah. Let me tell you why there's not going to be a cooling off period. It's been a decade since the housing bust, but new home construction remains weak, okay? Annualized 1.1 million homes were started last month versus 1.17 in April, adjusted for swings, okay? What they're saying is for some reason, nobody knows what it is, we're not building new housing stock. Why? Could be because people are starting to say, I don't need to own a home, I'm going to rent. I think this story for apartments is good until 2035, just because of the way millennials will age. They're delaying buying a house. That's why we have this issue right now. It'll be validated over time, which means those rents, remember what I wrote earlier, rents, rates, supply, okay, unless you got cranes in the air. See, we're buying in Daytona. No, there's no cranes in Daytona, dude. Okay, we buy in St. Lucie. These are called tertiary markets. There's no cranes in St. Lucie. You understand what I'm saying? Okay, I rent something for $1,000 a month there. Somebody moves from Miami to St. Lucie. They're like, oh my God, I'm saving $3,000 a month on my rent. Yeah. They move from New York to St. Lucie or Daytona. They're like, I'm saving $4,000 quality of living. So we're getting this push from both directions, right? That creates what? My rents can rise, okay? I don't have any pressure from new supply. It doesn't make sense for anybody to build there yet. So long term, it makes it a safe place for money to sit until, I mean, if you draw a map of Orlando, Florida, I don't know what that map looks like. What's Florida look like? It looks like this, right? Huh?
Exactly, Grant. That's exactly how it looks.
Right. I mean, doesn't it kind of look like that?
Yeah, it does.
Like
totally.
That, right?
Totally.
Okay. What's so funny, man?
Nothing.
You guys are wrong, man. Okay.
Yeah, that's sick, man. You guys are sick, Rob.
Where's Orlando? Orlando, Tampa.
Tampa. Daytona's right off to the right of those.
It's right up in here.
Yep.
Little stuff going on.
Yep. West Palm's about midway.
That
West Palm's
stuff
about
happening
midway.
all over the place, right?
Yeah.
Okay, where am I at over here? This is Naples over here.
Yeah, Miami's right on the, you know, the
Miami's over here on the tip, man.
Yeah, he's on the
You with
tip.
me? Can you? Oh, show us the keys.
Show us the keys.
Okay. So the point of that is this. Okay. Watch what happens here. Rents are rising. I mean, you can't even buy anything down here, dude. It's ridiculous down here.
Yeah.
Somebody asked me, there's a piece of land next door to where I live, and I snapped it out yesterday and said, "Hey, what do you guys think this is worth?" 300 grand, 500 grand. I said, dude, it's $26 million
Wow.
for a piece of land that's undeveloped that you still haven't got permitted to build one house on. So like there's nothing here, right? So now that doesn't mean this is the place to invest in. Don't buy that story. You got to know your market. Number one, know your market, which means what? I know where the good neighborhoods, I know where the bad neighborhoods are. I know where the good neighborhoods are going to bleed over into I know where Whole Foods is going in. Dude, if there's a Whole Foods, you're safe.
Yeah.
Okay? Then you got to know this. What else are they building here? What's the cost to build? Look, if you're not going to do all this homework, do not go invest in real estate.
Right.
On your own.
Yeah.
Come ride, man.
Yep.
Find a company. Ryan will give you the name of 20 companies that raise money for real estate acquisitions, okay? There's real estate funds. There's, what are they called? REITs. There's REITs you could buy into, okay? You basically take your money, send it off to Wall Street. You'll never see the property. You won't really know what's invested in. There's syndications you could do.
Right.
We got a group that we know here in town called, I won't even use their name, but they do what's called syndication. You want to explain syndications?
Yeah, so what a syndication is it's a syndicator. So let's just use me as an example, or Grant. I'm going to go and I'm going to raise money from investors, friends, family, people I don't know. It just doesn't matter, right? I'm going to go and raise a pool of money so that way I can go and buy an asset, right? So it's one guy who's credible, who has the experience. Well, I'm going to use you as an example, right? Because we're doing it.
Yeah, but even
You've
some
got
of those other groups that are doing it, you know, so they're a good example too.
Yeah, I mean, look, all the groups, they have one guy though. That's what I want to get back to. They have one syndicator that they can count on, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you got 25 years of experience. You've been in the up markets. You've been in the down markets. You know, what we're running into, I know, look, I'm a young guy. I'm 32 years old. We're running into credibility, right? We don't have maybe the 25, 30 years of experience. I mean, I've rode the up market. I think I understand, but you really don't learn and understand a market until you've been in the down market.
Yeah.
So groups, they've been in the ups,
they
they've been in the
raise money.
downs.
Here's the problem with those guys that raise money. They don't have any money in the deals.
Right.
Okay?
And their fees are ridiculous.
They raise $10 million. If the guy has 10 grand in the deal, I swear to you, I don't care what they tell you on paper, oh, we're going to be doing 20%. None of them do that.
Yeah.
Okay? None of them have sweat in the deal. They don't have their freaking, they don't have these.
They don't have their skin.
They don't have the
in the game.
Yeah, they know fulcrum in the deal.
Yeah.
Okay? So they don't have anything in the deal. Now what we do at Cardone Acquisitions is, dude, I got money in these deals.
Yep.
I buy, like the last deal we did in St. Lucie, okay? I think there's $1 million left that we can raise on that deal, right?
Under, yeah.
I bought the deal already.
Yeah.
I bought the deal before we had any money in from investors, okay? I'm like, yeah, I got the deal approved with financing. I know, because I know. Now, this is another point. If you want to know about rents, rates, and supply, get a good lender. I got a lender, this guy will wake up in the middle of the night and underwrite a deal, do all the research for me for rents, rates, and supply. He'll tell me everything. Hey, this is the cost to build there. This would be the cost to replace it there. This is going to be the cost of your insurance there. Like every single line on that deal, he will underwrite for me. Now, I just happen to know because they're building product here. They're building product here. They're building product here. The rents are going up here like crazy, over here like crazy. So what am I doing? I'm finding little markets around this, okay, that are going to be influenced by this. They're going to basically catch this is going to push people here. This is going to push people down here, and I'm buying these other markets, if you will.
Yeah.
I feel like a mad scientist up here.
Okay? And you are. Do you want to go?
Yeah, I'm going to answer some questions, but I also like what you gave me here. San Francisco, median price of a home in San Francisco, $1 million. Median price of a home in Manhattan, I don't even think these are right, $1 million.
It's ridiculous.
Median would mean junk, by the way.
Would be average.
Okay? Brooklyn, 700 grand. Los Angeles, $565,000. This is Los Angeles, $565,000. You're talking about never seeing the view. You will never see the ocean.
Yeah.
All you see is smog. All you see is concrete. You got a little lot about this big, right? This is garbage, okay? 500 grand. Seattle, 538. Washington, D.C., 510. Garbage dump. probably in the hood, okay? San Diego, 510. Boston, you're like, oh my, I'm gonna live in San Diego. You ain't gonna see, you can't see the ocean from where they're talking about here, okay? Boston, 451. Toronto, 443. That's 600 grand Canadian. Queens, Denver, Portland. You guys that are investing in Toronto, man, there's no way that market's not overbuilt.
Right.
Okay, I'm telling you, man, you could take your money. Whatever you're buying for a 4 cap there, I'm buying for a 6. Turn it into an 8. We got deals right now that are earning 12 and 15% on our money in month 1. Okay, so top of the market, are you? Go ahead.
No. Go ahead. Because you're.
Know your market,
Yep.
cost to build, history.
Yep.
What's going to happen here? Like in New York City, you could pay any price in New York City as long as you got a lot of time, man, because you will have a dip. Mm-hmm. The question is not if you're going to have a dip, it's when, and the bigger question is, can you survive the dip? Like I didn't lose anything in 2009. Nothing, because I cash flowed. It didn't matter to me that the world had gone to hell.
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk to some friends, okay? Let's see who we got here. New Jersey, Indiana, New York, Orlando. Sorry you guys been on hold so long. Let's talk to Mayrock from Jersey.
Come on, Mayrock.
Come on, Mayrock. Know your market, cost to build, history. Let's see if he can repeat the other 6 for me. The other 3. What's up, brother?
How you doing? Good morning here in New Jersey. Grant Cardone, is a pleasure speaking to you.
Yeah, good to talk to you. By the way, I love your market up there. I love that market because of the influence New York has on that, the city, right?
Exactly. And we're getting a lot of people from New York coming over to here and rent. But I have a question because I just found out that in Central America, some of the houses there are rent-free, meaning they don't pay any rent there.
Right.
Yeah.
So I wanted to ask this other question about...
I'm not sure. What does that question mean, though, dude? What does that mean to you that they're not paying rent?
For some reason, the government is doing some kind of funding to help pay with the rent.
Yeah.
And then what happens is they get compensated by them putting the work or something, some kind of work.
Yeah. I would
they
stay away
have
from
it-
I would stay away from all Section 8 programming, anything that looks like Section 8, anything where the government's involved, bro, stay away. All you got to do is go visit Venezuela. Go visit. Don't go there, okay? Just go Google it. Go look what happens when you start giving everybody something for free.
Right.
You end up not being able to afford it, okay? I'll give you a perfect example. Affordable health care. Sounds like a great idea. Yeah, everybody should have health care. 20 million people have health care today that didn't have health care 4 years ago. Mm-hmm. It's a great idea. Mm-hmm. 250 million people now can't afford their freaking health care. Okay? You got 250 million people paying the price for 20 million people. I mean, sooner or later, dude, it hurts everybody. So if the government's going to get involved in housing in your city, let me tell you what it does. Hey, it's $800. The lady only has to pay $165. She needs help. I understand she needs help. I don't want to invest with her. Okay? You know why? Because she's a good person. It's her neighbors that aren't. Okay? It's where the drug dealer sets up shop on the corner. Sorry, I don't want to be in the neighborhood. It's the hood, dog. They call it the hood for a reason. And it ain't a good reason.
Yeah. Is May still on or no?
So
May, did you have a question or,
Yeah.
or no?
Yeah, well, you asked that question about a country, the government getting involved.
Oh.
Don't look for any
And then
shortcuts,
also,
guys. This is not a shortcut game, okay? This is what you're looking for. Rents, rates, and supply, okay? What's it cost to build there? What's it cost to build there? They're creating an artificial supply over there when the government gets involved. It's artificial. It is manifested by some, and those things go away. They stop. The government can't even deliver flour tortillas to the people in Venezuela right now. This happens. Americans don't think it'll happen here again. It will happen here again. Okay? Go ahead. What's your question, brother?
Yeah, Jersey City, we're getting a high population of, different people from New York. Now, because that's happening, a lot of the landowners are actually, or the landlords are getting advantage of raising the rents up as close to New York. So they're kind of like booting out a lot of the regular people here. So, whatever used to be 900 now is 1,700.
Yeah.
Whatever used to be 850.
There's a party going on right here. A celebration that lasts throughout the year. Yeah, dude, look, that's the game, baby. See, this is exactly what I was showing to you about Florida, right? When I did this thing, Rents are going up here, rents are going up here, rents are going up here. So what? It influences everything over here. They're called tertiary markets. Okay? I get a little bump here, a little bump here, a little bump here. Next thing you know, you got bumps all over.
Right.
Little tiny bumps. Right? Bumps in the rent, right? Because it's called a contagion. So New Jersey is catching the contagion. And what will happen is builders, when the builders see the rents go from $900 to $1,700, the builders are all going to go over there and start doing their deal.
Yeah.
So if you can catch it before they start doing their building, and then they start putting the cranes in the air, baby, just know this, you got to get out. You got to get out about 20% into the building. Okay, because sooner or later they're going to build too much. They always build too much. The banks always lend too much, and get out of the deal. Okay. All right, let's talk to Justin from Ohio. Know your market, cost to build. What's the cost to build? What's the history in the market? 4, plan for a pullback.
Stress test.
Stress test number 5. And what's the market for growth? Okay, go ahead, man. What's
up? Do you
up?
want to show them how we do a stress test?
Yeah, sure. You want to show them?
What do you think of the market in Columbus, Ohio?
I mean, I don't know enough about Columbus, Ohio. I know it gets cold over there, man. Okay.
Oh, it is, Mr. GC. I've been meaning to talk to you for a while. I know this broker. What do you think about brokers, real estate brokers?
I love real estate brokers.
Well, my landscape.
I'm going to tell you, most of my portfolio, and Captain Ryan will tell you this. You know, when we buy a deal, dude, I'm like, don't worry about the deal, bro. Who's the broker? Does he know us? We're working a deal right now. We sent a letter to the guy that's selling the deal to inform the guy that's selling the deal, hey, we're working with your 2 brokers. They don't know me. They've never done it. Well, they know me, but they've never done a deal with me. We don't know why they've never done a deal with me. I own 4,000 units here. I'm the best buyer for the product. I'm surprised that you didn't just bring us the deal with your broker. We don't know why he has never sold us a deal, but he hasn't. We just want to give you the heads up.
Yeah. That was great.
Okay, why am I doing that? And by the way, we CC'd the broker because I got 10 people looking at this deal, and I want to be 2 of them to get to buy it. I just want to get down to 2 of them. I got to get down to 2 or 3 to be 1. You understand? So you need the broker on your side, not against you. Because in this game, unlike housing, the broker determines who buys the deal, particularly when the markets are hot. Go ahead, man.
All right, my name is Dustin Floyd with Florence Landscaping and Property Maintenance. I service a property for a real estate broker. His name is Edward Snyder.
Okay.
And I've been talking to him about real estate and where I need to start. I said, I know Uncle GC. He said he's heard about you. I know you said it's cold out here in Ohio. I'm looking to get where do you point me? What direction can you point me in?
Well, do you need, where in Columbus do you live, man?
South side.
Yeah, you
Not
need
the best side of town, but we're
so
looking
look,
to get into real estate.
the place to start learning about real estate is not in a book.
Right.
It's in your neighborhood, man. It's in your neighborhood. Do you rent now?
I'm renting now from Crawford Hoying Apartments, which is up for sale and on the market now as we speak.
Good, that's the place to start, bro. The place to start is where you live. Do an analysis.
Right.
If you if you can't do, everybody watching this show, I'll give you a tip that's worth $1 million right now. Analyze the deal you live in. If you can't analyze the deal you live in, if you can't find out everything you need to know, if you don't know how to do that, you don't even need to buy a book on real estate. If you're so freaking lazy that you can't take the deal, I'm paying $800 a month, man, I hate paying this $800, then figure out how to buy the deal you're in. Okay? Or leave. Why you live there? I like it. The location's great. I'm close to Starbucks. I like my neighbor. It's beautiful. Oh, you like the place. See, you know you like this place.
Emotion.
It feels good here, right?
Yeah.
Good. So now analyze that place, okay? Analyze. What would you have? I don't like the kitchen though. What would you have to do to improve this place? Find out what they pay for it, who owns it, if you could get a loan on it, what would it be, the last time it sold, when there was a downturn, what happened, how much product's coming on in the marketplace, what would a rate cost you on the deal. Analyze the place you're living in, then go get you a real estate book. You think that's good advice?
I think it's great advice. And what I would always say is there's 2 different places to start, right? You either have knowledge and time, right? So knowledge and time, right? or you have money and credit, right? So there's two different walls, right? If you have time and knowledge, you can go get the money, put the deals together, or if you have money and credit, you can find somebody who wants to do the legwork, right? I mean, we're guys who are willing to do the legwork because we have a team, right? We now have a team of 85 people who go out there and operate our properties and manage our properties. So you either have knowledge and time,
or you have them all,
or you have money, or you have them all.
You knowledge, time, credit,
but most
confidence.
People don't have that.
You know your market. You're willing to move to other markets. I'm willing to move to other markets, man. Right now, we're focused on Florida right now because I know I got 10 or 15 years of nothing but explosive growth. It's going to be gradual like this. It's not going to be like straight up. I don't need straight up, man. I need forever. I'll take forever over straight up any day of the week. And by the way, let me tell you, I'm looking at a deal right now in Columbus on LoopNet. If you can go to loopnet.com. When you go to LoopNet, don't just look for the deal, look for the broker. Okay, I'm looking for broker contacts. I'm looking to start contacting people to look at deals so I can get their input on a deal in addition to what you get from this show. Here's a deal, a duplex, triplex, or fourplex, 2 units. And then it says duplex, triplex, or a fourplex. It's 2 units, dude. It says an 11% cap rate. What does that mean? If I pay, I don't know, if I pay, $225 for the deal, it's going to earn me $20,000 a year, $24,000 a year. Not a bad deal, man.
No.
2 units. That's if it's full all the time. If one person moves out, I'm now 50%. So you'd want to look in history. In history, how long is it rented to 2 people? Man, it's had the same 2 people for 15 years. That'd be a good deal.
Yeah.
Until they leave or die. Okay?
Well, that's a good point, too, just as far as the stress test goes.
Yeah.
What we did on our last deal is we actually went in there and said, okay, look, the average rent is $900, right? Grant mentioned that earlier. So $900, if we take and we look at history over the past 10 years, the lowest of the market was in 2008, 2009. The rents were right around $810, right? So it's 10% off rent. And then the vacancy was a 10% drop.
Yeah.
So it was right around 89, 90%. So we want to know that data. So that way, when we buy right now, it's at 97% occupied, right?
So
we can go down below 90%.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So what he's saying is the stress test is go back to 2009, 2010. When was the last major correction in your market? What happened? That would be different in Flint, Michigan. 2009 didn't hurt Flint, Michigan. Flint, Michigan was decimated before 2009. Okay? All right? T12s, look at T12s. You can go back 5 years on T12s if you want to. A T12 is a trailing 12. Look, my name's Grant Cardone. You can't learn it all in one show. That's why we archive every one of our shows at grantcardonetv.com, grantcardonetv.com/real estate. Really important that you get in this game. I'm telling you, folks, if you want to create wealth, this wealth creation formula right here, this is a 2.5-hour seminar right here, 2.5-hour seminar with a digital download book for you to follow along with me where I deliver how to get into how to, number one, increase your current income. That's more important than investing. In the beginning, increase your current income so you do have money one day to invest. Okay, and then do you move right into real estate? No, you don't. It would tell you 9 steps that I use to create wealth in my life, to go from one job to a second flow of income, to a third flow of income, to a fourth flow of income, and then to take that money from those 4 flows and invest it in real estate to create hundreds of flows of income, now thousands actually. Wealth creation formula, by the way, it's on sale through midnight tonight. Okay, if you're watching this in replay and it's tomorrow, you're going to miss it. It's $4.95. It's a $49, 2.5-hour video program with a digital download so you can follow. It's going to be one of the most important things you ever learn in your life. Every day we do a sale for 24 hours at grantcardone.com. That's the one today, Wealth Creation Formula. Is that what it's called? Yeah, daily deal. Today's big deal is Wealth Creation Formula. Every day we do a show from Grant Cardone TV with Robert Sislow on the mic behind me. He hadn't said much today. He's kind of quiet.
I'm learning today.
He's just sucking it in, man.
Just absorbing like a sponge.
So Robert's a perfect example of a guy. He's starting to come into money. Okay, Robert's a perfect guy. I'll just give you a little piece here. We're going to run out of time here, right?
You're
Maybe I'll kill the show and save this, okay? Y'all just keep going. Yeah. But Robert's a perfect guy. Here's Robert right here, okay? Okay.
Get spiky hair.
There's Robert right there. He's coming here. He's earning about 50, 60. How much you make a year? What's
right
your income?
Now?
Your base.
My base is 45.
So 50 grand or something like that, right? That's a 50,000, like 50,000. His job right now is to get that number to go up. His job is not to invest in real estate. His job is to get that. His job is to invest in himself right now to start collecting knowledge, man. I shopped for real estate for 3 years before I ever bought a piece, man. That was one of the best things I ever did in my whole life, man. Every weekend, looking at deals, looking at deals, looking at deals. Thousands of deals I've looked at, so I can feel a deal now. By the way, we're getting ready to do how many deals? We're gonna finish St. Lucie.
How many units? Yeah,
$1 million at St. Lucie to raise, if you want part of that, okay? It's gonna earn you 12% a year. And we got a big deal in Miami and 2 other big deals right outside the St. Lucie market. Love to have you involved in our deals. This is Captain Ryan. Email Captain Ryan. Ryan at Cardone Acquisitions. My name's Grant Cardone. Tomorrow, I'll be here doing my book review. Okay, hope you join us. Thanks for joining us today.
All right, we're rolling.
Hey, if you like the show today, make sure you subscribe, hit like, and post your comments. Really appreciate you watching. Thanks a lot.